board meeting to order. Trustee Inkman?
Here.
Trustee Brienne?
Here.
Trustee Markey?
Here.
Trustee Fisher? Trustee Brabin?
Here.
Trustee Ryder?
Here.
Is there a motion to nominate a president pro tem?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second?
Is there a name attached?
No, yes, there's a motion.
I move to nominate Trustee Ankerman to President Pro Tem for this meeting.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Trustee Inkman, please take the chair of the village president.
At this point in time, I would like to state that a notice was received by a member of the village board in accordance with the policy regarding a member who cannot attend due to illness. The member will be deemed authorized to attend the meeting electronically unless a motion objecting to the member's electronic attendance is made, seconded, and approved by 2/3 of the members of this public body, those who are physically present at this meeting. So if no such motion is made, and if no such motion is passed to achieve the required votes of the members of this body physically present, then the request by the member to attend the meeting electronically shall be deemed approved by the public body, and the presiding officer shall declare the requesting member present. Do I have any comments from the trustees regarding this matter? Okay, hearing none, we now recognize Trustee Stephen Rappin as present at this meeting. All right, so we have been called to order. The next is the Pledge of Allegiance, so please stand with me for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of
America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty, justice for all.
Okay. Next on the agenda, we have consideration of the July 26, 2021 Village Board meeting minutes. In addition, I can bring all of those special meeting notes as well. So there's also a special meeting that was held July 20th, 2021, another special meeting July 23rd, 2021, and then, of course, our regular meeting on July 26, 2021. So do I have a motion?
So moved. So moved.
So moved by Trustee Ryder and seconded by Markey. Are there any comments regarding the meeting minutes from either of those, any of those meetings? I think there were just some minor changes.
You had a typo.
In a typo on
Yep.
the 26th.
Yep.
So for that, do we just have a roll call or voice?
You can do a roll call.
Roll call vote, please. Okay, all in favor of approval?
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? The motion carries. Okay, next, if we have any non-agenda items or visitors who would like to address the Board of Trustees allocates 15 minutes, and during this time, those individuals who would like the opportunity to address the Board of Trustees for any matter that is not listed on the agenda, this is the opportunity. Each person addressing the Village Board of Trustees is asked to limit their comments to a maximum of 5 minutes. I don't see anyone here in the boardroom. Drew, do we have anyone electronically?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Well, hearing that there are none, we will take the items in the order in which it was presented, and we will now, now we'll look at setting the order of the meeting. We don't have anyone here in the room to change that order. And Drew, is there anybody who has requested?
Nobody's requested, but there are 2 members. If you wanted to take something out of order, you can take item 6A, and then the consent agenda.
Okay. Do I have a motion to move the order of the meeting to have 6A and then the consent agenda moved up.
So moved.
So moved by trustee Brown. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Marquis. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, so item 6A is a consideration of a request from the Lake Bluff School District, District 65, to waive fees for a new ground sign at the Lake Bluff Middle School. So the summary states that on August 3rd, 2021, the Architectural Board of Review approved a replacement ground sign for the Lake Bluff Middle School at 31 East Sheridan Place. The school board has asked for a waiver of the permit fee and the ABR review fee for this sign. And if no waiver is approved, then these fees would amount to about $300 for the school district. Similar requests have been considered on a case-by-case basis for other nonprofit and governmental organizations. Do I have a motion regarding this?
So moved.
So moved by Catherine Briand. Do I have a second?
Second?
Second by trustee Ryder. Do I have any discussion, comments, or questions regarding this? Okay, hearing none. There is a roll call vote.
Trustee Briand,
Aye.
trustee Marquis,
Aye.
trustee Rappin,
Aye.
trustee Ryder,
Aye.
trustee Inkman.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay, next is the consent agenda. And on the consent agenda, there's acceptance of the correspondence that was delivered to the village board in the informational reports on July 23rd and July 30th, 2021. There is also a second reading of an ordinance granting a variation from the village's side yard setback and accessory structure restrictions regarding 502 McLaren Lane. There is, in addition, the second reading of the ordinance granting the special use permit to the Wine Brokers of Illinois LLC to operate a liquor store at 42 Sherwood Terrace, Suite 2. There is also the second reading of an ordinance amending Title III of the Village of Lake Bluff Municipal Code regarding the number of liquor licenses. And finally, a resolution appointing Glenn Cole as the village's alternate delegate to the Intergovernmental Risk Management Agency, also known as IRMA. Do I have a motion to accept the consent agenda?
So moved.
So moved by trustee Ryder.
Marquis.
Sorry, Marquis. Is there a second?
Second?
Second by Ryder. Thank you so
Clarify that was
much.
to approve the,
Yes, to approve the consent agenda. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Ryder,
Aye.
trustee Inkman,
Aye.
trustee Briand,
Aye.
trustee Marquis,
Aye.
trustee Rappin.
Aye.
Thank you.
back to 5A.
All right, we are back on 5A. This is the village finance report, well, actually, the warrant report. So, here we go. The expenditure of village funds for payments of invoices in the amount of $130,182.26 for the period from July 27th through August 9th, 2021. Expenditure of village funds for payment of payroll in the amount of $312,995.66 for June 2021. Total expenditures of $443,177.92. The reports and documents that were attached were the warrant report for July 27th through August 9th, totaling $130,182.26. The invoice register shows checks with a status of open or paid. All checks with a status of open are computer-generated checks for the board's final approval, and checks with a status of paid have been checks that were processed manually. There is also the FY 20 to 21 payroll report. Do I have a motion to approve the warrant and payroll?
So moved.
So moved by trustee Briand. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Marquis. Did anyone have any questions regarding the details of the warrant report or the payroll report?
I just had one that really has more to do with the detail in one of the payments. There's a payment to Canopy Tree Specialist, and it says 434 West. And I was just wondering, because it's a hazardous tree, and given the conversations we've been having about
Right.
outsourcing, Drew, do you know the address of the tree? Just curious. And the reason for using canopy.
I don't have that detail, I apologize.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I can check and let you know in a moment.
That'd be great, Bettina. I was just curious because we've been having this ongoing conversation about trees, and it must have been a significant tree to call in canopy, and that our PW guys couldn't take care of it.
You're right, it could be the scale of the tree,
Right.
but also if we were like doing a water main break or some other
Right.
competing.
That they couldn't deal with
Couldn't
the
get
tree
it,
at that
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Yeah, Bettina, if you could, that'd be great. Just curious. Otherwise, no questions.
Anyone else with questions for Bettina or Drew? Okay, so we'll hear from Bettina at some future point in time. But at this point in time, could we have a roll call vote regarding the warrant report?
Trustee Ingemann,
Aye.
Trustee Briand,
Aye.
Trustee Marquis,
Aye.
Trustee Rappin,
Aye.
Trustee Ryder.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next, we have on the agenda the village administrator's report and the consideration of a request from, oh, we did that.
Yep.
We certainly did. Was there any other village administrator's report that you would like
No,
to
ma'am,
share?
but thank you.
Oh, great. Next, village attorney's report.
No report tonight.
No report this evening. Thank you. Village president's report. Although Regis is not here, I understand that Regis is presenting the appointment of Ann Sorensen to the Joint Plan Commission and Zoning Board of Appeals. I'm looking for the application. Do we look for approval in terms of a resolution?
No, just
No,
simple motion.
Okay, do we have any discussion regarding the appointment of Ann Sorensen to the PCZBA?
I guess I'd just like to say she's been a longtime volunteer of Lake Bluff. I think she's going to be a great addition.
Yes.
I agree.
Thank you. If there are no further comments, shall we have a voice vote to approve the appointment of Ann Sorensen to the PCZBA?
We
All
just
in
gotta make
fa-
the motion.
Motion.
Oh, we do have to make a motion. Does anyone make a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
You do.
Second by Brian. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, consent agenda is done. Okay, in other business, item 14. We have a resolution authorizing an animal/rabies control agreement by and between the Village of Lake Bluff and the Lake County Health Department. A little bit of background. On January 18th, 1991, the Village of Lake Bluff authorized an agreement with the Lake County Health Department for the purpose of providing animal and rabies control services. In order to ensure quality service delivery, the Lake County Board of Health reviews the agreement from time to time and asks municipalities to consider approving any revisions. The current agreement with the Lake County Health Department was approved by the village board in March of 2016. And at this time, the Lake County Health Department is requesting certain modifications to the agreement, including 1, an update regarding the village's authorized personnel to confirm the use of services provided by Lake County Health Department. 2, impoundment services may now include the microchipping of unclaimed stray animals that have bitten and/or been impounded at Lake County Animal Shelter prior to release. This is in addition to rabies observation that has been provided historically through this agreement. And 3, animal cruelty and neglect investigation services performed by the Lake County Health Department wants the flexibility to utilize off-site location for housing of animals moving forward. So for your reference, please know that the fees incurred by the village under this service agreement are minimal, and typically they do not exceed $500 in any fiscal year. With the exception of the aforementioned amendments, the terms remain unchanged and the agreement will renew automatically until either party to the agreement provides a 30-day termination notice. Police Chief Hosking recommends approval of the agreement, and is he attending virtually?
Yes.
He is attending virtually. If there are any questions from the board regarding this matter, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Marquis. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Briand. Any questions for Police Chief Hosking?
I had a quick question about number 2, just about the microchipping. So I guess my question was, as a village, are we paying for that microchipping? And if it's a stray animal that's bitten someone, or no one's claiming, why would we be microchipping that animal? At some point, is it going to be fostered or released from the pound?
It may be, depending on the circumstances. But one of the things that is my understanding, and Chief Hosking, you can fill in some of these gaps, but is that on occasion there will be an animal that is identified as a biter and that they want to have the chip placed in that animal, so for tracking purposes of future if they encounter that same animal again. But Chief Hosking, do you have any more detail than that?
No, I think that's well said, that we often get the same animals over and over again, whether they be strays or biters, and if they're chipped, we can positively identify the dog, and sometimes it allows for a quicker return to the owner, because we have a chip reader where rather than taking it to Knollwood and impounding it, we can read the chip and then notify the people we have their dog and they can pick it up.
Am I understanding? I think you had a question about the cost associated with that as well.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess it was a twofold question. Just, I guess if a dog is biting people, we're re-releasing it then? Yes, but my other question was about cost.
Yeah, so Chief Hosking, maybe you can cover that question about the idea that animals may be released after a biting incident.
Yes. Let's see. If we impound the animal and we don't know who the owner is, the village has to absorb the cost. But if we know who the owner is and they're notified and they pick it up, those costs are passed on to the vehicle owner. Likewise, if we were to get a dog and get it chipped and we don't know who the owner is, but then we later find out, we can go take it back and
Recover.
have the owner pay the costs.
And Chief Hosking, the idea about an animal that may be a biter, I think that's your concern, that
Yeah,
may
like the
get
safety.
returned. Yeah,
That's part of my question, the
Yeah.
safety of an animal that's biting people?
yeah. And Chief Hosking, I don't know if there's like a 3 strikes policy. Generally, how does that get managed in the community if there's a dog that's an animal that's biting?
I think usually under normal circumstances, it's like 3 strikes and you're out. However, if there's really one significant egregious bite, chances are rabies control, which really determines whether or not it's going to be released or not, would make that determination that it wouldn't be released. And we have so very few dog bites that are normally they give them a couple strikes, but if it's really egregious, chances are they're not going to do it. And I mean by egregious, like if somebody were to say that person was mauled by it, chances are that dog's not going to get released, and rabies control is going to hold on to it.
Okay.
And I think ballpark cost, from my understanding, is like $65 to $70 for chipping. That's what I
And
understand.
pretty infrequent. I would imagine that's going to be very infrequent.
I don't recall it being done.
Okay,
So,
okay, thanks.
yeah.
Thank you, thanks, Chief.
You're welcome.
Any other questions?
I have a question about number 3. What do they mean by housing, the flexibility to utilize off-site locations for housing? I take it heretofore it had been on-site, and now we're talking about off-site. What kind of locations are those?
Mike, do you want to cover that? If you can, I will.
Well, we really don't have any facilities for holding animals. So if we cannot identify who the dog owner is, we take it to the Knollwood Animal Hospital, and there it's impounded. And normally, after 10 days, the animal would be transported to Lake County Animal Control. And there again, if we identified during that 10-day impoundment who the dog is, those costs are passed on to the owner. But they have the personnel and the facilities to house animals where we really don't.
Do we know what they're referring to as wanting the quote flexibility to utilize off-site locations? end quote, is? I guess they're saying they might run out of room at animal control, and so they want
Yep.
to house them elsewhere?
They partner, Chief, don't they partner with rescue organizations to utilize their assistance in housing animals prior to their possible euthanasia? If they're not.
Yes, but there again, that's not within our control.
Right.
We only have the control to take it to Norwood. Norwood, we would take it to Lake County Animal Control. And yes, they do foster animals out. They do that type of things. But our involvement then is ended.
Right. I think that's what they mean.
Fostering. I was hoping that was the answer.
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of them are working with not-for-profit organizations, specific breed rescue, to take them to avoid, the similar arrangements are in Cook County.
Chief Hosking, I don't, generally speaking, we kind of didn't touch on what usually happens when we receive or reports of a lost animal or a found animal, is we often send out a notice using social media, and I would say 9 times out of 10, the pet is reunited with their owner. And I think actually this particular warrant had a cat and animal stay at Knollwood Hotel, Animal Hotel, if you will, that the village ended up absorbing those costs, and I think that's the first time in years that that's happened. It's rare that it even goes that far, where there's some animals that just don't get, reunited with their owners. And then the final step to your concern, I believe, Trustee Ryder, is that's part of the reason why we use that additional time frame, trying to hope to connect their pet with their owner, as opposed to maybe they went out of town or some unique circumstances that they just couldn't connect immediately. So try to stave off those situations. So.
And my dog's mugshot has been on social media before, just one time.
Yes, not as a biter.
Not as a biter, no.
As an escapee.
Yes.
All right. Any final questions or thoughts? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Brienne,
Aye.
Trustee Marquis,
Aye.
Trustee Rappin,
Aye.
Trustee Ryder,
Aye.
Trustee Inkman.
Aye. Okay. Next is a resolution waiving the competitive bidding and authorizing the execution of a contract for construction of the landscaping and storm sewer improvements at the Public Safety Building. As part of the recent reconstruction of the Public Safety Building parking lot, the village removed overgrown landscaping near the front entrance of the Public Safety Building in order to install storm sewer inlets, which will eliminate the problem of water ponding and ice accumulating on the building's sidewalks and entries. The next planned improvements at the Public Safety Building involve 1, installing additional storm sewer running west to pick up storm water between the house tower and sidewalk, and 2, landscaping the entry per the ABR approved plan, which was attached. Village staff originally intended to administer these as 2 separate projects and anticipated that neither would reach the cost threshold of $20,000 that requires board action to award. The village requested proposals from 3 contractors and received quotes from only 2. Horvat Design Group provided a proposal to perform both scopes of work for a total of $25,600. At this dollar amount, the village board must approve the contract by resolution. Additionally, staff requests that the village board waive the competitive bidding procedures that would typically apply to these contracts, as the proposal price is less than anticipated for its component parts, and staff believes the village is unlikely to receive a better price for this work through competitive bidding. Do I have a motion for this request?
So moved.
Thank you, Trustee Rappin. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Markey. Any discussion, any questions regarding this resolution for Drew?
I just wanted to add one thing. I had a conversation earlier today with Trustee Briand about the plant material. I think if you
Yes.
about the quantity of materials, and I will work with the contractor to try to reduce that,
Yeah.
so as not to overwhelm that area with beauty. That would be unfortunate for our public safety folks. No, the other thing I wanted to mention is that this project, like all other facility projects, is being managed by our building code supervisor, Mike Croak, who he has done, I just wanted to say, he's done a remarkable job of managing our facilities. That's something that I've asked building code supervisors who've served in that role for the village, starting with his predecessor. Mike is actually a school architect and has done an exceptional job with that and with our facilities and keeping them at a very high level. And I think next is what, Village Hall painting interior, Mike?
Yes, that's right. That's coming up early September.
Yeah, so be some dust involved with that. But I just want to say thanks, Mike, for doing such a great job.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, I appreciate it.
Thanks, Michael.
Thanks.
Drew, I just had one other question, since I parked right in front of this building. I can't tell from here because they didn't identify the trees. Are all of the existing trees but one coming out, or two? The crabs?
The only,
No, we're not removing any more trees.
None?
There's just those two
Just the
maples.
ones that are on their way out anyway, right, Mike? The ones that are kind of,
We already took out those
two maples.
red maples right by the entrance. So the ones that are being removed were already removed.
Okay.
Nothing more to go out.
there is one that's currently leafless, but I was just curious, more facing, but I think there are one or two that could be pulled. But that was my only other question, that and just reducing the plant material. That's it.
So with the-
Yeah, right. I know which tree you're talking about. We'll take a look at that one with Jake. At the time we drew up the plan, it wasn't obvious that one was passing away, but now it does look like it.
Passing away, yes.
Yeah.
Slowly departing its presence. Okay.
So if that plant material is reduced, that would, in theory, reduce the cost of the project. It would come in under than what was it was approved at, correct? The plant material,
I believe it's time and materials, yes,
Right.
so.
Right. And I don't know how long ago it was that public service building was landscaped before, but it, in the comments, it said that it had overgrown. And then seeing that quantity of plant material, it always has to look good, not just today, but in 5 years. And 5 years,
Sure.
you just hope it's not like awesome when they plant it and then overgrown in 5 years, so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed. And overgrown, that specific description really was about those maples that were poorly placed, more so, it was just.
Too
that.
close.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is unfortunate, but.
Yeah. Okay. Any further comments or questions? Okay, hearing none, it's a roll call vote.
Trustee Markey?
Aye.
Trustee Rappin?
Aye.
Trustee Ryder?
Aye.
Trustee Inkman?
Aye.
Trustee Brian?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next, we have trustees' report. Are there any trustees with items to report? Okay, hearing none. Next, we have consideration of the July 20th. Didn't we do this by consent agenda? That's executive session. Okay. The July 20th and July 23rd, 2021 executive session minutes. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
So moved by trustee Markey and seconded by trustee Brian.
Second.
Any comments or corrections regarding those minutes? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Rappin?
Aye.
Trustee Ryder?
Aye.
Trustee Inkman?
Aye.
Trustee Brian?
Aye.
Trustee Markey?
Aye.
Okay, next, we have some matters for discussion in executive session, some pending litigation. And so I would ask for a motion to, are we going to end this open meeting? Or
Correct.
We're
There'll be
going to
no other
end?
business.
Okay, so do I make a motion to?
Motion to adjourn.
No,
We're going to make a motion to enter executive session.
yes.
Do I have anyone to make that motion, please?
So moved.
Thank you, trustee Markey. Do I have a second? Second by trustee Ryder. Roll call, please.
Trustee Ryder?
Aye.
Trustee Inkman?
Aye.
Trustee Brian?
Aye.
Trustee Markey?
Aye.
Trustee Rappin?
Aye.
All right.
All right.
So that'll conclude the public portion of the meeting.
This concludes the public portion of the meeting. Thank you.